What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna go over color grading my footage, how I color grade using the GHALEX Lut. I've been saying I'm gonna make this video for like the longest, and I haven't had a chance to like dive into it and start making it. Today we're gonna be going into that. This is remember, before we jump into this, color grading is very personal and it's something that everybody might do a bit different. There is no right or wrong, it's just personal preference on how you like your footage to look. So some of you guys have been asking me how I color graded this footage that I do. That's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully this is helpful for some of you guys. Like I said, I'm going to be using the GHALEX Lut. I will leave a link down in my description on where to find that. And also there's another LUT that I'm going to be using. It's like an Arri to Rec 709 conversion LUT. I will leave that down in my description also. I'm not sure where I got that LUT, but I'm gonna provide it for you guys so you guys can use it, because that's what I use a lot. And yeah guys, hopefully this is helpful. Before I jump into this, I want to let you guys know my exposure and what I use to expose. You know, I always talk about exposure. I feel like every one of my videos I kind of touch on it. And I expose my skin tones at 55 IRE when I'm shooting in Vlog. And yeah, that's kind of what I want to let you guys know. Also is my white balance is just set to auto because I'm in my studio, I'm not running around, or I'm not moving to different locations. So I set my white balance on auto and I put my skin tones at 55 IRE. So those are the two things that I want to explain before I jump into this, because that's very important. I've seen a lot of videos on people color grading, and when I try to do the same thing, I'm like, man, mine just looks horrible. But it's because my exposure is just horrible to start with. So make sure you guys get your exposure correct, because if you guys got your exposure set correctly, your color correction or color grading will be fun and simple. So let's jump right into this. Before we jump in any further, I want to show you guys my waveforms right here on my left hand side. This right here will explain a lot on my exposure and how I expose my shot. Hopefully this is helpful, just to show you guys I don't expose to the right. My exposure is not all the way cramped up here. I've done that before and it still works, it still looks good, but I find my exposure to, you know, out here it's a lot better. Out here I'm gonna start with a color wheel. And the reason why I want to start with my color wheel is because if you guys have to do any color correction adjustments, it's important that you guys do that first before doing the conversion. Make sure you have your white balance set correctly. And if you guys feel like, oh man, this image is too hot or it's too cold, do those minor adjustments right now before the next step. Me personally, I like my shots a little more on the colder side, so it's literally a small pinch that I adjust. Another thing that I do, I like to desaturate my mid-tones just a small bit, and I also desaturate my master wheel just a small pinch. This is personal. This is just my personal preference on the looks that I get. That's all I do on the first wheel. And also, this is important you guys have this on the very top, because if once you guys are starting to do your conversion and you feel like it's too bright, you know, like you guys can come right here to your highlights on the top, and you guys can bring them down a bit if you have to. So that's my first step that I do. After that, I'm gonna go right here to color. I'm gonna add my custom LUT, and for my first custom LUT, I'm gonna go into the GHALEX folder that I got, and they sell you the daylight and the tungsten light. I bought both of them. They both work really good. We are indoors in this shot, so obviously I'm gonna go with the tungsten light conversion. I'm gonna go to this alternate conversions folder, and in here I'm gonna choose log C. Once I select that, I don't know if you guys saw the difference that it did, but there is a small difference that is gonna make a big difference at the end of all this. So, you know, this is before that. Look at the reds. I don't know if you guys see the reds right here. Look at my hat, like this logo. That's before, this is after. Before, after. That small difference is where I find this to be so powerful, and this is kind of like where it's all at. After that, I'm gonna add another LUT, and on this second LUT, I'm gonna go from this log looking footage to Rec 709. Now this is what I'm gonna leave down in my description. Make sure you guys download this. I'm not sure who I downloaded this from. I will put it down. It's a free LUT. You know, you guys can go ahead and just download it. But this is gonna go from like this log footage to a Rec 709 conversion. So once I put that in there, this is what it does. This right here is amazing. Honestly, I can call it a day after this, and I can just export my footage, and I'm happy with it. This is before, this is after. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the conversion. If you guys, this is kind of like what, you know, if you guys want to use this GHALEX Lut, this is it. You guys can export this and call it a day. Look at this. This is before this log C, and this is after. Before and after. Before, after. That's amazing. Like, I don't know if you guys see like the skin, or like even my lips. That's before and that's after. Like, it just pops out a little more, like the skin colors and just the reds. It looks amazing. Another thing is this slider bar. This is where I kind of get creative with it. If you guys want to crush your blacks, instead of doing it with the S curve, you guys can just bring down this conversion LUT just a bit. I'll leave it right here, like at about 82%. So it kind of got like a desaturated look. I know it kind of, you know, you guys are probably like, man, like, just still looks a bit flat. But where it gets crazy for me, and where I find this to be really fun to use, is I'm gonna add a third LUT. This third LUT will be more for like a creative look. This is personal. This is gonna be whatever you guys want to do, and for your own taste. I'm going to add, like, I got this what is this TC teal and orange tropic color. They have amazing LUTs. You guys can add one of these. There's some from Osiris. I love using these. I like using this M31. You guys can add that one. My favorite all-time LUT to use as a creative LUT is the Zach Kravitz packet, which he gives this for free, which is crazy because this has been my favorite LUT and it's free. I will leave his link down in the description also, so you guys can get this packet. I like using this OK Fine. If I put that on and I raise up the intensity, look what that does. Like, that is so crazy. Like, I love what that does. That's ridiculous to me. This is before, this is after. Before, after. It's a little too strong for my taste. I will bring it back down. And this is what makes it so fun for me. You know, this mix knob or dial, however you guys want to do this, however intensity or how much ever intensity you guys want, you guys can bring this up or down. I like it probably around there. And once I'm done, if I got to do any other adjustments, like I think this is a little too desaturated, so I'm going to go to this first wheel and I'm going to just do small minor adjustments. I'll leave this back to 0. You know, I think I desaturated that a little too much. And look at that. That looks awesome. That looks really, really good. Again, you know, mess with these sliders right here. These sliders, if you guys want to go more for a contrasty look, if you guys want to crush your blacks a bit, bring this down a bit. Boom. You know, mess around with this. And like I said, you guys can use different creative LUTs. This is the Osiris. I like using the M31. If you guys put that on, look at that. Now, if you guys, it gives it more like of a, make the blues pop out a little bit more. Of course, that's like really, really, you know, strong. I would never use it that much, but just so you guys can see what this does. This is the teal and orange from Tropic Color. You know, it's just whatever you guys want. You know, it's personal right here, and it's whatever you guys feel like it looks good. But I personally like this OK Fine from Zach Kravitz. And yeah, man, this is awesome. That's pretty much all I do. That's my whole setup right here. Real quick to recap, I start off with the color wheel and I do any color correction that I need to do. I do that right here on the top. and then I add this log C that I buy from the GHALEX Lut packet and leave this at 100. Or, you know, look at that's without it, that's with it. I leave this at 100, and then I follow up with this Arri log C video to Rec 709 conversion. And after that, I just put my creative LUT that I personally like, and that is it. I love how that looks. This is before, and that is after. Before, after. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it right there. That's my process when I color grade or color correct my footage for my videos. That's the kind of signal chain that I'm always using. So hopefully this was helpful. If I'm doing this wrong, or if I got my setup totally the wrong way, I might be. Please let me know down in the comments if you guys use this, or you know, if there's any suggestions that I can do this better. Let me know down in the comments. This is just the way I do it, and I love the colors that I get from this signal chain, and I'm happy with that. I love using that. I do the same process when I'm shooting outside in daylight. Probably just different LUTs for the creative LUT, and I'm happy with it. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys got any recommendations, any suggestions, like I said, let me know down in the comments. You guys do help me out. There's been a couple people that advise certain things to me, and it's awesome. It's great. I do learn from you guys too. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.